Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. Welcome to my live on Facebook or uploaded later on my YouTube channel, Athena's Creations 2017. I have some fun projects for you tonight, some out-of-the-box alternatives. I do not have this one. I used all of these for a workshop, but I do have these two that we'll put together and some amazing alternatives and some fun things just to share with you. And of course, there's 2 stamp sets this month for the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I like to, after all the contents of the kit are used up, there's an amazing stamp set. This one has 2. And we're going to use those stamps on projects, on cards, on some of the alternatives. So once you've used up the kit contents, you can still use your stamp sets later for other projects and other designs and cards and things that you like to make. So I'm going to share all of that with you tonight. I'm bringing in a couple of stamp sets. I think one is that cutesy onesie bundle. I just couldn't help but stamp on it. It was absolutely adorable. And then it's called Cutest Onesie, and that's a bundle that's in the current catalog. And it will be retiring or going into the online store until it's, stock is depleted. But we're also going to use the Choose Happy stamp set. It's got a little bee on it. So that's another one that is going to be a carryover into the new catalog. So thank you so much for joining me. We're going to go ahead and turn the camera down and get started because I have a lot to share with you. A lot of stamping that we're going to be doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So one moment while I adjust the camera. You would think after a couple of years of doing this, I would have all this figured out, but I'm a work in progress. What can I say? But here's the kit. Like I said, there's 3 cards, and I've got one of each except for the middle one. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit further. Pardon me. I want you to be able to see everything going on down here on the desk. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. Pardon me. Okay, so on the Paper Pumpkin kits, there's what's called an add-on. And I did the little hive. I did do some die cutting ahead of time. And I don't know if you can see some of the die cutting here. We're going to use those pieces and create a shaker card because I love shaker cards. And this is still available, I do believe. The back on here, it shows all the contents of what's included. And then, of course, all of the coordinating cardstock and ink colors and things like that. And so I basically am bringing in some of those to share with you as well. So I'm going to get this a little bit closer. And also, don't forget you can stamp on your envelopes. This is like a 2-set stamping. Love this one. And don't forget, you can always stamp on tissue paper. I thought this was kind of unique. This could go into a little bag or something. Kind of fun. Little bumblebee there. So, so cute. I don't know if you can tell, but I absolutely love this kit. One of the first things I do when I get a kit or a paper pumpkin is I just start stamping just kind of with different colors. I didn't like how that turned out, so I'll reuse the other side. But I love that you can 2-step stamp, and I've actually am doing 3-step stamping with this one tonight, using 3 different colors that coordinate with the kit. And then this one, it's a work in progress. Babies are a blessing. Now that sentiment I got from, I believe, a retired product, but this little bee right here is in the Choose Happy stamp set. Oh wait, you know what? It's not in that one. I did use this one, this bee right here, but then the little bee I got from one of our newer, I do believe it's available. It's the You Are Remarkable. There's this tiny little bee. And of course, the sentiments, the 2-step stamping, this is a beautiful stamp set that's got sunflowers. I probably could have incorporated this stamp too, but there was a little bumblebee there that I just had to use. And then this bumblebee here for the little onesie, and it's absolutely adorable. So, so cute. Just wanted to share that. And of course, the dies have the little pocket for the little hanger there. And so that's what I mean by this is a work in progress. I stamped it, just kind of playing around, just kind of move this around a little bit. It's so, so cute. But anyway, that's kind of my musings for when I first started playing, when I got this one out. And let's go ahead, because I need to put my seat up so I can see what's going on. I've got all of these fun projects to share with you tonight. I did do some of the die cutting ahead of time just to save some time. But we're going to also do this one right here. This is a nice little stand-up easel, 3D. I think I did something very, very similar in December or November. So we're going to do that. And then I got one card of each that's with the kit that we'll put together as the instructions call for it. And then I've got this one that, again, using the stamps, the die cut, and then the contents of the kit and bringing in some paper, and that's a card base. We're making this one into to do the die cutting from the add-on. And those pieces, like I said, I saved those to make a shaker card. And then an alternative, just bringing in some more paper. And then this one is doing some stamping as well, adding in some other pieces. All of these are Athena originals. And then a fun fold. It's a new fun fold to me that I'll show you how to do that as well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 cards and a 3D project. I think we can get all that done in an hour. I hope so anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with this one. It's super easy to make this one. And again, we're using, this one actually is only stamping on the one piece that I've added in. Just a hint, if you buy from Amazon, be careful what you get. If it's a really good price and it's too good to be true, well, yeah, it's probably too good to be true. So this one, the bottom stuck. The sticky on these are not as sticky as if you buy the real thing. I say the real thing, the sticky notes. This was an Amazon special. You got like a whole bunch of them for, I don't know, $8. Again, you get what you pay for. Be careful, buyer beware, all that good stuff. All right. So we've got our little pad here and we've got all these pieces. Oh, and I do think I have the information here. If you want to do a quick screenshot, I know how it can be when you're watching somebody put something together, and it's nice to have the measurements. And so this is a piece of cardstock. I believe it's Mossy Meadow. Is that right? I believe that's right. 9 by 3.5. And then you score it on the 9-inch side. You score it 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. And then there's another sheet of Mossy Meadow, 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. The DSP, or what I'm calling DSP, it's really this piece of, let me get this right, crushed curry is 4 by 3 1/4. And that's that piece back there that we're going to stamp using the stamp set that comes with it. Oh, I guess I should share that with y'all. And the nice thing about the paper pumpkin kits in the past, we didn't always know exactly what the stamped image looked like. So they've started including these, I think maybe about a year ago. So you see exactly what's on here. Now, granted, I'm not using all of these, but I'm using 2 from the extra stamp set that came with it. Hey, Dora, I'm so glad you could join me tonight. I don't have my computer to the left, but I can sort of see my, my phone a little bit, and I see that you've joined us. Thank you. Happiest Hive is the free one. This says hello and happy birthday. And of course, this is a really nice flower, the sunflower in the middle, the honeycomb. This is a really nice stamp, background stamp. This is the actual stamp set that came with it, called the Daydream. And we're going to use pretty much most of these. And we're going to do some, we're going to stamp once, the wings twice, this one, 3-step stamping basically. And I love photopolymer because you can see exactly where you're stamping. I'm a little challenged when it comes to that if I can't see where I'm stamping. So that's the stamp set. And then here's all the pieces for this one. And I do believe I'm going to need my little tiny, I should have got those out earlier. Here's my regular dimensionals. This one's going to need a smaller dimensional, I do believe. Let me grab that. One moment here. Here it is. Okay. All right. And the reason I'm putting the bumblebee up on the mini dimensional is so that I don't lose it on my desk, for one, but then it makes it a little bit easier to attach once we put the card together. And if you've got your handy bone folder, you want to use it to help varnish those score lines. And there's this one. And it's basically going to fold this direction, just like that. And then we've got the 2 layering pieces. This is that piece that's going to be right here. And we're going to, since there's no stamping on this one, we can go ahead and put that one together. We're going to do the honeycomb all the way around the edge of the, with crushed curry for that one. And of course, I don't know if you saw earlier, I've still got some extra pieces from the kit that I haven't completely used up. So there's a lot here. You get more out of your kit than, you know, what you would normally put all the cards together, especially if you decide to do some alternatives. Just bring in some paper. It's really, really easy to come up with other cards and things with all those extra pieces. Okay, so we've got this one that was punched out of this one. And so this particular card piece, it's punched out, but then you use it. Well, I didn't use it. I actually put that flower, but then I stamped. So again, trying to think outside the box, use the stamp set later. So I kind of designed the same thing here, but use stamping. And I didn't use this one because I wanted to use it on this 3D project. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so you're just going to kind of find the middle, kind of estimate for this one. And with the kits, I love that they have these, what I'm calling flat adhesive dots. There's probably a name for them. But on little intricate pieces like this one, like the sunflower, I definitely want to use that. And I'm going to put that one. It's really tiny, so I'm going to put several of these using my Take Your Pick tool. I use this for pretty much everything when I'm crafting. It helps for so many things. And this one, I would use other adhesive. However, this one, and you could use liquid glue, but with the other glue, I'm afraid it would tear it. So I got to be careful with that, which is why I'm using that one. Okay, here we go. So I don't know if you got this kit or not. They do have, or I should have checked before I went live, but I'm about 80% sure that there's still a refill kit. And it usually 2 to 3 months after Paper Pumpkin, if they have any extras in the warehouse, they'll have them for sale, extra kits. At this time, I don't know if they will have extras or not. If you like the projects tonight and you need or want to get this Paper Pumpkin kit, I did buy about 3 or 4 extras, so just hit me up and I will be happy to send those to you for a small fee. Let's see here. All right, almost done with these little adhesive dots. All right, there we go. And then I just kind of want to put that on there just like that. Now this piece right here, it came with the kit. It's, I don't know if you can see. Just trying to find something that, a background that might help see. It's got like a little bit of a shimmer to it. A little shimmer on that one. And this, of course, very intricate, finite detail die cut that came with the kit, and it's almost too small for liquid glue, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm just going to lay it down. And the other reason to have our little bumblebee on a dimensional is it's going to help hold it down like that. Now this one, I'm going to be really careful. Actually, I'm going to use liquid glue. I've been doing that a little bit more lately, using the liquid glue. And I haven't done it in a while, but it just seems like it really works for some of these projects. It actually works very well for the notes and totes, which is what I created with the new bundle that's in the new annual catalog that's coming out in just a few short weeks. Love that one. It's a lot of fun. Ah, here we go. And you don't need a whole lot of liquid glue, just enough to cover it a little bit there. And then we're gonna just kind of put that one right there. And then next we're going to stamp the honeycomb on to this one using our crushed curry. And I've had this ink pad for a while. It almost looks like I need to maybe give it some more ink. Such a cute little honeycomb. And I'm just going to stamp basically the outside part of it. I'm just kind of moving the block around a little bit, because once it's mounted on the cardstock piece there, you're not going to see the entire honeycomb. Oops, getting it on my fingers. Just walk it around a little bit here. All right. And that's it for that one. I think that might need to be re-inked actually. All right. And then somebody told me all these little pieces that just end up everywhere. You could painstakingly pick them all up with your take your pick tool, or get a little lint roller, and that would pick up some of those tiny pieces. I saw that somewhere. It's probably one of those Instagram, hey, here's some tips for you. So this one, you're just going to find the sweet spot, as I call it. It's about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, approximately. And there's going to be a little bit of gap there, and that's perfectly fine. So this is cardstock. So I want to make sure I use some really good adhesive. Cardstock on cardstock. And then we're ready to adhere this one. So you're only going to adhere it to this part, adhesive to this part here, okay? So up to that score line. So you want to make sure you get lots of adhesive right there. And then you're just going to line that up toward the bottom there, like that. So there'd be a little bit like of a lip right there. That's perfectly fine. Because once you stand it up, just like that. Now, like I said, you want to get a better sticky note than I got. And normally I would use tear and tape, but for purposes of this one, I'm just going to use a little bit of our snail. Because chances are this one's going to come off too. Yep, it's already started. See, it's already coming off. Ugh. So I will have to use this for private use and get a better sticky note for that one. But essentially you're going to adhere it. So you'll see a little bit of the honeycomb, but once it stands up and is displayed, voila. So that's that one. Athena's Outside the Box 3D. Hope you like that one. We're going to go ahead and put the two together like the kit shows. And then this one, I was not entirely sure what the color was. I thought, okay, so the coordinating colors, it must be Lost Lagoon, or maybe, no, Soft Seafoam's too light. I just couldn't figure it out. I thought maybe Pool Party. And then somebody smarter than me on the demonstrator pumpkin page, I think it is, said Cloud Cover, the new in color. And by golly, I think they are right. So then apparently you put the box up to it and it's Cloud Cover. Love it. So I don't have the Cloud Cover ink pad, but I do have the paper. That is so, so pretty. And I thought I ordered the full stack and I didn't, so I guess I'll just have to wait. But I did pull in Lost Lagoon, and I pulled in Pool Party for my couple of my alternatives here. So we'll be playing with that one in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and put this one together and that one together, like the instructions show. And I just put everything here in the envelope. And check out these amazing envelopes. Who wouldn't want to receive something gorgeous like this in the mail? This is so, so pretty. Now, I noticed the wings look like they're a little brown, a light brown. And of course, the bumblebee look, right? So that's kind of my guide for when I stamped the envelope over here. I brought in some brown. But yes, lovely, lovely envelopes. They're already pre-decorated. Now my fancy fold, I used the front of this one and cut it in half. And then the baby card that I was playing with, I stamped on this side for this one. And then die cut it out, the cutest onesie. That's the paper that I used. So cute. It's so hard to put this one together as is, because as always, you can get more than one card with all of these pieces. You can get 2, sometimes 4 times what's in your kit. It's just gorgeous. But I did say I would put it together as is. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is card number 3. So it's showing all of these gorgeous flowers that I guess we're going to be using. And it looks like it's going to be on dimensionals. It almost seems a waste to put that on there, all of these beautiful flowers. But putting them on dimensionals give it a nice dimension. Sweetest Birthday Wishes. And it looks like we're just going to use glue dots, it looks like. And then these, it looks like we're going to use all of those fancy pieces right here. So I don't even know which one goes where. So let's just take a look. Then we've got one little bumblebee. Oh wait, we got, yeah, there's, yep, one little bumblebee. I guess putting all these on dimensionals is going to look pretty sharp. Hopefully I can figure out where they go. It's not the end of the world if I don't put them all on there. And so then this is that little tiny piece there. And I know Sweetest Birthday Wishes has to be here on my desk somewhere. Of course, I say that and I don't see it. Pardon me. So, what's it gonna be? Okay, here's our little ink spot, stamp and spot. This is the Lost Lagoon. Hey, Kathy, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a fun paper pumpkin kit. I'm trying to find our happy birthday. Oh, here it is, Sweetest Birthday Wishes. I didn't put it on a stamp yet, or a block rather. All right, let's put that one on a block. So photopolymer, you can maneuver them, but this one I'm just gonna let it sit down just like that. And I'm going to, pardon my reach, grab a block. It's kind of cockeyed, isn't it? Let's try that again. It's very sticky. Photopolymer. Okay, there we go. And so since this is a small ink spot, I'm going to bring the ink spot to the stamp. The nice thing about Paper Pumpkins and other kits, you can actually take it on the go. Sweetest birthday wishes. You can see where you're stamping, and then you just apply the stamp nice and evenly, pressure applied. Let that ink soak in, and voila. So cute. And we're going to put some of these on dimensionals. Some of these I think are going to do small dimensionals, but this one we can use the big one. And I think we're going to be using part of it when we put it on the card. And then we have our small dimensionals that came with the kit. All right, it looks like, let's see. Okay. Part of that little honeycomb piece is going to be partially on both of these flowers. It looks like with the dimensional. Okay. So I guess I should set this up just like it's showing. Here's the card. And we're going to have our little honeycomb right there. And then we have a little honeycomb down here. And then our cute little bumblebee. Then I'm going to go ahead and put on a dimensional so I don't lose him. It's the mini dimensional. And he's going to go on over here. Pardon me. It looks like we've got our big flower that we're going to put on a big dimensional. And it's going to help hold down the flower and the honeycomb. So we'll just do that one first. Ooh, that's nice. So having it on dimensionals really pops it up. So I do like that look. I wasn't sure at first, but I do like that one. Same thing for this one. We're gonna like use it to hold down that little honeycomb. And then we've got another piece. Just like that. You almost can't see that honeycomb. Ooh. Probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, I better leave him alone. That's nice and stuck on there. Now we've got a nice size, this big one here. Oh, okay, you can see where they're on the card, but then the dimensional is going to make them pop out. It looks like, so I don't know what it is. This weather, you have to have your AC or it's humid and hot. And my poor husband is in long sleeves and pants, and I'm in shorts. And he's so cold and I'm hot. Texas for you. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and put our dimensionals directly on. And then it's going to layer right on top. This is great. I love it. And I'm thinking I probably ought to go ahead and put the sweetest birthday wishes on. There we go. Just like that. And then I think I'm going to use a couple of the smaller dimensionals for this little flower here. And this tiny one over here, we're definitely going to use the little mini dimensionals. All right, and it looks like, pop that one up. Oh, that looks really amazing. Okay. And this one too, we've got the little tiny dimensionals, little pieces. Pop this one right up. And our little bumblebee on a little dimensional right here in the corner. Isn't that the cutest? Okay, we've got one more little cone here. So when I first saw it, I didn't understand why there were several of these, but it really looks good with the dimensionals. Because it just pops it up, right? See how simple and easy it is for these kits. Down the inside, you can bring in other stamp sets, or you can use some more of what's in the kit. This one, I think, just totally matches it. It's called You Are Remarkable. You are remarkable in every single way. Friends are flowers in the garden of life. Ooh, I think I might use that one. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. Friends are the flowers in the garden of life. I love, love, love that one. So we're going to stamp that on the inside. Oops. We're going to go ahead and stamp that one on the inside. And then we'll put together that card. And then we'll get on with the alternatives that I've come up with. And I have to say, like I said, when I first get a kit, I always get all the stamps, put them on the blocks, and then I just start stamping. And I think I've shared in our group a couple of the pictures of what I came up with. And if I haven't, I will definitely share those after the live tonight, so that you can see kind of my thought process of just stamping, putting the stamps to the block and putting them in the color, and then just kind of playing with it. Kind of gave me some ideas. So this was like a 2-week project. You know, I would rest a day or two, then I'd come back to it and, oh, I got an idea. You know, and then I move things around on my desk and I just kind of get creative from there. That is super cute. I'm thinking I want to do something else. Hold still for just a second while I'm thinking about this. And this is part of what I do when I play. It's like, oh, I have an idea. Hold on. Let's see. I think I want to do something really light, some kind of a flower here. But I realize we don't have any flowers except for that one. So maybe we'll just do like the honeycomb, because that's a nice light color. So we'll get our crushed curry back out. Now this one, I made it exactly as is, but I wanted to add a honeycomb. Add a little something on the inside. Almost not enough room to write, but you know, the stamp says it all, doesn't it? Friends are the flowers in the garden of life. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm going to run out of room up here tonight, but that's okay. I've got lots of great things to share. All right, so next we're going to go on to this card. And this one has some special adhesive strips in it. Let's see here. Again, another amazing envelope. Look at that beautiful sunflower. Cute little bumblebee. Oh, I love these envelopes. So, so pretty. Okay. Then we've got, I don't know if you can tell, there's a slight shade of the daffodil, or not daffodil, I'm sorry, crushed curry color on there. So we're just gonna burnish that one. Just like that. Oh yeah, the special adhesives, they're this long strip, okay? And so this one, we've got this piece right here that punches out. And I did stamp, although I didn't use it on another card. Again, more pieces you can use for another card. You can totally do that. But this one, it shows that we're going to put these long strips. One right there. The instructions right here are so awesome. And then we're going to put a strip right there. And these just give the project dimension, and it looks really, really sharp. So that's what we're going to do with that piece. Trying to see. Okay. Make sure we're not doing any stamping just yet. Okay. So the trick for this one, I'll just say at the outset, we've got 3. I used to would take these all off and then would try to put it on centered, but I've learned over the years it's best to just do one at a time. So I find that sweet spot where it's as closely centered as possible. I'll hold down the one side and I'm going to lift this up, take off that adhesive and just let it sit down. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the side piece here. Let it sit down just like that. And then the final piece down here. To me, that's the easiest way to get it on, as close to, quote, perfect as possible. I know there's no such thing, but then we've got this nice piece here that we're just going to pop right there in the center. So pretty. The dimensionals really make it pop. And then you can see there's a nice little shine right there on that card. So what's the math on, just help me figure something out, because I just thought of something. So these kits cost $25 and it makes 9 cards. So how much is that per card for 9 cards that cost $25 for the kit? Because then you have stamps left over that you can use for other cards and projects. So who's going to do the math for me? Dora? I'm curious what that is per card. There's a reason for my inquiry about that. I don't know why I put these pieces in here. I don't think we need them for this project, so I'm going to set that off to the side. Again, we've got this sweet little bumblebee that I'm going to put on a dimensional so I don't lose them. It's going to be the small dimensional. A little less than $3 a card, isn't it? I was trying to do the math in my head just then. I think it's a little less than $3, and these are nice cards. So you save money by getting a kit rather than buying, say, a $4 to $6 to $8 card at the store. So just my thought. Again, we're going to put this right here. It's so, so pretty. We want to use our little adhesive, flat adhesives that come with the kit, because we've got some intricate detail here. Oops. There we go. $2.77 per card. See, it's a great deal. It really is. Thank you, Dora, for doing the math for me. So yeah, I'd much rather, get a kit where not only can I use stuff later, the stamp set, but I mean, you're getting a nice card that's handmade. And who doesn't love a handmade card? You can hand them out to neighbors. You can hand them out to pretty much anybody, really. I know postage is kind of hard to keep up with, but I still like to send handmade cards in the mail, which, by the way, I got one from you in the mail today, Dora. Thank you so much. All right, so we got that one there, and we're going to have our little bumblebee kind of up here at the top. Just like that. So, so cute. And then this one, thank you for always being there for me. And I'm pretty sure I had this one on a block. Yep. And I'm going to stamp it in my Memento ink. I know somebody I can send this to. Someone who's always commenting and sharing my cards and designs and things. So sweet. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know it or not, but this piece right here it's vellum. And typically vellum is see-through, so you can kind of see through when I put that adhesive. But this is a thicker vellum. You can't see that. And then I'm going to just layer this one right on top. Again, I'm going to use some fun dimensionals. There we go. And if you've not ever stamped with us, you should join us on Saturday. We've got lots of fun cards we make. I do all the cutting and designing for you, kind of like a paper pumpkin kit. So that's the second card. So now we're going to move on from our cards from the kit, which are absolutely hands down amazing. Love, love, love them. But we're going to move on to Athena Original Designs. And that's kind of thinking outside the box. And it's a lot of fun for me. And so the first card, I used the add-on, which made all of these little pieces, right? We're going to use a couple of pieces here. But then the second card from the alternative is this shaker card that we're going to stamp. A lot of stamping first, and then make the little shaker pieces. We need to stamp something on the inside, don't we? I stamped the sentiment here, but I think the sentiment might go on the inside, wishing you brighter days ahead. So it's kind of like a thinking of you type of card. Grab a sip of drink here. And this one is Sweetest Wishes, or Sweetest Birthday Wishes, using the cardstock base from the kit. Sweetest Birthday Wishes. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and do a little stamping with this one here. I went ahead and got my Lost Lagoon ink pad out because I happen to have it. And I'll tell you, when I started getting my colors, the color families, I only got like 4 or 5 at a time. I didn't get the whole set of colors. I took my time getting them, but all the kits and the paper pumpkins, they have their own ink spot. Unless it's one of those kits that's a non-stamping kit, and they do have some of those available. This is really nice. We've got Lost Lagoon and all those fun pieces. And this piece right here that I'm bringing in is 4 by 5 1/4. And here's my Lost Lagoon. That's the extra stamp right there. Just going to basically stamp it in the corner. Just like that. Letting the ink soak in. And this was one of the first things I did, was just kind of play around with the stamps. And I thought, I gotta bring in some of that Lost Lagoon color there. So that's what I did with this one. And there's a piece that came with the kit for Sweetest Birthday Wishes. I do believe it's on the desk here. Yep, there it is. Okay. And I keep closing and opening and closing the ink because when I'm done stamping, if I leave it open, I sometimes have my papers will fall in it and ruin my project. So I'm very careful about that. Sweetest Birthday Wishes. Little bit of stamping and putting together some beautiful cards here. And then this one, of course, is going to be on dimensionals. Get a dry spot. Sorry about that. Okay. Before I put that on, I better go ahead and Looks like put these down. No real rhyme or reason, just kind of filling in the space here a little bit. Like that. Okay. And then I think I did a glue dot. The gummy piece right here is great for picking up these tiny little pieces. And that's the perfect way to hold down. Oops. Hold down that little piece right there, the part of that honeycomb. Gonna use that glue dot. Gonna hold it down again. Let's see, there we go. And we got that one over here. It's not perfectly centered, that's perfectly fine. And it looks like over here I can add a little adhesive because that sentiment is going to be covering that up a little bit, and this is going to help hold it in place. Just a little bit, even if it's overlapping, it's fine. Now our little bumblebee is going to go here. But first I'm going to apply some glue dots. Ooh, that one didn't go down. Let me see. Just like that. All right, and this is also going to help hold down some of that right there. Then we're going to put our cute little bumblebee. Oops. There it is, I think. There we go. All right, this one's going to help kind of hold that down just like that, and then we'll put our sentiment. Just like that. And, oh, that piece. I know an easier fix. There we go. There's always a fix, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now we're ready to just center this one on the cover. Trying to find that sweet spot. Hold it down and then lift up one side and bring in our adhesive. For our alternative card, Sweetest Birthday Wishes. And now we're going to create this shaker. And we're going to do some major stamping here, okay? All right, so there's the front of the card. We'll just set that off to the side. This is going to hold all the shaker elements. But now we're going to stamp using the big honeycomb, which is part of the extra stamp set. And we're going to stamp the crushed curry. That's a nice size. So this one, we want to make sure that we are applying plenty of ink. And on this one, there's no rhyme or reason, just kind of at the top left. Then you just want to hold it down, apply that pressure. Look at that. Amazing. Kind of the same thing down here. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and close that one up so we don't get ink everywhere. And then next we're going to do our stamping. 3-step stamping, okay? In other words, The crumb cake is going to be the brown that we're going to use for the leaves, because again, that's what the die cut pieces look like. And then we're going to use Memento ink for the bumblebee. And then we're going to use the Daffodil Delight for the body. And we're going to stamp our little guy right there. So he's kind of part of the honeycomb part, okay? So the first thing we need to do is the body. Love this, it's so cute. This is the fun part to me. This has been an amazing kit. Really a lot of fun. And the fact that you've got these really nice stamps that you can use later, I really like that a lot. This is going to be our shaker card. So very cute. All right, so next, crushed curry. I always have to double check. It's the smaller one's going to be on the bottom because that's the bottom piece. How do I know this? Trial and error. Then you're just going to stamp that body. Isn't that the cutest? I love this stamp set. Adorable. So much fun. And now for the crumb cake for the wings. Oh, that's just so much fun. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful bumblebee? I absolutely love that. 3-step stamping. How fun. We're going to do that several times tonight, okay? Before we're done, because that is so much fun. Now, this is the fun part. This is a shaker card, and we have some new, let's see, these are called loose shaker elements, okay? They're kind of clear, plus the little die cut pieces from the previous card that we're going to put inside this clear envelope. So we're going to go ahead and put this card in first. We're going to line it all the way up to the one side. Line it up first. As close and as flush as we can. Okay? Because once we get the elements on the inside, then we will fold this over and adhere it, and then adhere this one underneath. So meanwhile, we're going to hold it open and put the shaker elements on the inside just like that. And I want to make sure I have plenty of these shaker elements. So let's just put a whole bunch of those in there, shall we? Because we have plenty. So when you use that die cut piece from the add-on, that's what was left over, those pieces there. The loose shaker elements, just be really, really careful. This is new. I believe it's part of the online exclusives. Or it's coming. I can't remember. I should have looked that up. Sorry. So I'm just going to do a couple of pinches, and this stuff will last you a long, long time. And again, you want to make sure you cover that up, because these tiny pieces, you definitely would not want that all over the place. Oh, this moved a little bit. So let me just put him back in his spot over here in the corner. You're going to take that piece off. Got that adhesive. And this one, we're going to just use some plain old office Scotch tape. And just tape that down. And there's our shaker elements that we're going to add to the front of this card. And this one I'm going to go ahead and apply the adhesive. Normally I wouldn't, but this is a shaker card and I think it'll be just fine. I think I hear my puppy. He's probably wanting to come in. All right. And then we are going to add our cute Gotta be really careful. Oops, it's not gonna work. Let's do glue dots. That's probably the next best thing. This one's gonna be on the top because I was afraid if I put it on the inside, it would get lost. So I thought this would be the next best way. Have the little flower. And then, of course, the sentiment, I want to stamp on the inside. Wishing you brighter days ahead. So it's another one of those kind of thinking of you cards. Don't you just love shaker cards? That's so much fun. Look at that. Love it. Okay. You know I love a shaker. So you could, it kind of covers up this one. So that's why the second one I decided to do it on the inside. But isn't that fun? All right, now for the next card, next alternative. I think we have 3 more and then we'll be done. So again, I could have probably played another week or 2 and come up with probably 10 more cards. There's just endless, and I mean literally endless possibilities with this kit. This one we're actually going to stamp again like we did, using the same kind of method as the original card. There we go. Oh, this is the piece I brought in. I was going to say, this is not quite yellow, but you know, you can do, I probably could have done that with this one and I didn't. It's just bring in some blending brushes and blending in a little bit of color like they did on the original, but that's okay. Now this one, I'm trying to remember how I did it last time because it's been a hot minute since I did this one, but I'm going to kind of line it up a little bit to get an idea. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp the bumblebee on the inside. But I'm going to lay this in there. You see, I'm holding down part of it. I'm trying to walk you through this with my words. It's in the spot where I want it, but I want to kind of just put this one underneath a little bit so I'll know how much of it's going to be shown. Bring it up a tiny bit. Just double check that. Okay, that's going to work. So I'm going to leave that one just like that. And then I'm going to stamp around the flowers. Just like that. There's flower number 1. Not flower. Bumblebee number 1. Oh my word. Okay. And bumblebee number 2. All right, perfect. Oh yes, well, yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Next, I'm going to turn this one over, and just like the original one, we're going to apply these long dimensional strips, just like that. And if I haven't already mentioned it, I do have a couple of extra kits, so hit me up if you're loving these projects. Oh, I goofed. I should have stamped first. You're always supposed to stamp first, and I forgot to do that. But I think I'm going to throw something that's over here off the side. It's already pre-stamped. It says your friendship means everything. I'm just going to put that one instead. So that way you can always do that. If you goof and you're supposed to stamp and you didn't, like I just did, I had that one off to the side. So we'll just do that. Okay. Because you can do the wishing you brighter days ahead on the inside is fine. All right, so next I'm going to adhere down with glue dots this flower very slowly and carefully. All right. Just need a couple of these little glue dots. And one more for that flower. And then we'll do our second and third set stamping there. Step stamping. I'm going to apply my little glue dot just right there. Perfect. Before we put that on, we're going to go ahead and stamp the body and the wings. I've had a lot of fun playing with this kit, I must say. Lots of fun. Isn't that adorable? Oh my goodness, just too cute. Hopefully you won't get tired of all of these little bumblebees. And then the crumb cake for the wings. And you have to admit, adding the wings in crumb cake, I think it just really adds to this card. That is amazing. Love, love, love how cute this is. All right, so again, like we did before, we're gonna find that sweet spot, line it up. And then I'm gonna hold down one side and I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up and peel off that little adhesive back. Just like that, just do it one at a time, walking around the card as I call it. The ladies used similar technique this weekend. And that's how you add that dimension. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some Wink of Stella to make it shine. Now, this one, I did bring in some embellishments because it's kind of nice and gold. These are the gold textured adhesive back dots. We're going to put a nice big one right there. And I had two small ones over here, but I think I'm just going to put them right next to the big one, since we have a little bit of dimension there. And voila. Isn't that fun? Next. This one, we're doing a lot of stamping. I love this one. Okay. This is a fun fold. I forgot. There's another fun fold. This one, we're going to stamp all these in here, okay? And then this is cutting half of the card base of another. And I brought in some basic black, which to me just really makes the card pop, right? To put a little bit of that in the background there. And then adding some of the flowers. You have just a little bit of room to write. So I guess, you know, birthday wishes. You could even turn this into a pocket. In other words, just to put some adhesive on the edges and then leave this open and you could, you know, slide in some money or something like that for like a gift card. So here's our fun little Z fold. And I may have written the directions down, but I'm not real sure. Let me just take a look here. So for this little piece here, it is 3 by 3 1/4. So that's like the mat for that one. And I did not write the instructions for these. That's okay. And again, this is that little piece that was punched out from one of the other ones. And then this one was just cut in half. But you know what? Let me give you those measurements. Oh, and it just dawned on me. I had this cute little LED light set I was going to have all lit up on the, all lit up for you guys. And I totally, until just now, saw that and forgot. Oh, well, that's okay. So 5 1/2 by, this is 4 1/8. So it looks like I trimmed it down a little bit, and then I just cut it at 2 1/8. Cut it at 2 1/8. So that's going to layer on the inside. And this is going to be the piece that we stamp. This is 5 1/4 by 4. And then the piece for the inside is 5 1/2 by 2. Okay. And then here's the card base, which shame on me, I didn't write down the dimensions here. But it's like the regular size card, and then the front's split back. So scored at 2 1/8. And then at 4 1/4. Like that. But let's do our stamping first, and then we'll assemble. So we got all these fun little pieces here. All right, lots of fun stamping. Okay, I guess first we'll do the cute little honeycombs. Oops, see what happens. Oops, 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 that's okay. It's all right. Let's see, we've got our little bee, little bumblebee. And sweetest birthday wishes. So we're gonna do our honeycomb. We have 2 more cards after this one, so hang with us, okay? Just gonna kind of randomly stamp a couple of these. Just like that. I'm gonna leave that open for just a moment because I'm gonna go ahead and stamp our sweet little bumblebee. Okay. And then we're going to stamp the body. I love being able to continue stamping with the contents of the stamps. Isn't that sweet? Next time for the lights. Oh, yes, Dora. It's all good, right? Okay. All right, so now we're going to come back with the crumb cake. The amazing wings. You have to admit, crumb cake for the wings versus nothing, I think the crumb cake wins. Absolutely adorable. So very cute. Love it. It's fun. I'm having a good time with this one. This was probably one of my favorite kits. That's why it took me 2 or 3 weeks, because I had so many fun ideas. I really had a lot of ideas. At first, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just started to play around doing stuff like that. And it was like, okay, yeah, I like this one. Let's stamp it a little bit more. Now let's stamp sweetest birthday wishes. What did I do? Oh, here it is. Over here on the side. You always want to do your stamping first. Then adhere everything. All right, so this little piece here is 3 by 3 and 3, or excuse me, 3 by 3/4 of an inch. I normally wouldn't just apply that adhesive, but I'm feeling confident, I guess. Yay. All right, so this is just going to go flat. Let's see, and it's going to be slightly different than the original, but that's okay. That is a-okay. I'm going to use the glue dots. I do use glue dots a lot. A nice little flower there, and then we're going to do I think we're going to do the bigger flower down here. Because it'll fit. And then our little bitty flower right there. Now we're ready to start assembling. This one, again, we're gonna like center it, and I'm gonna hold it down, lift up the flap, and apply my adhesive. We only want to apply it to this one side. Okay. Just like that. And so now this part's going to be a little tricky, but it's doable. We've got our piece right here. And it's basically going to be flush to the edge of that card. Just double checking those edges. All right, so now we're going to lift up the flap and add in our adhesive. Then this one, it's going to butt up to that corner there. Because it's basically going to go right there. For the inside piece. Then here's that little piece that's going to butt up against the honeycomb. Really easy. I love fun folds, and this is a traditional fun fold. It's one that anybody can do. Voila! What do you think about this one? Little Z fold using the contents of the kit. And here's this one. Another Athena Original Alternative, bringing in Pool Party. Thank you for always being there for me. And so this one we're going to need to clean that stamp because we're doing Pool Party for the color. Well, I've got an idea there. I put those ideas on sticky notes and use those later. All right. There we go. Now we're ready for Pool Party. And we're bringing in a little bit of that gold ribbon. We're going to fold our card base. It's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Going to bring in our Pool Party. And again, we're just going to kind of do the same thing we did a little bit earlier. Just add a little bit of color on color, basically. See how easy that is? Oh my goodness, it's so hot all of a sudden. I bet my husband turned that AC up and I'm warm. All right, so I went ahead and put the little bumblebee on the, oh, I didn't put this one on a dimensional, but I need to. Yeah, because I think that'll work better. Now this one, since we're going to be building it, I call it building it, we're going to go ahead and add a little adhesive right there in the middle. And put that ribbon. We've got this piece that's part of the kit that I'm going to just put it right there. And then we're going to get our little bumblebee. Put our bumblebee on a little tiny dimensional. And it's going to help hold down part of the honeycomb. At least I think it is. There we go. Sometimes you put the dimensional to the product or the page. There we go. Okay. Next. Again, we're kind of building it. And that adhesive is right there. We've got our really pretty flower, sunflower, I guess. Put some dimensionals. Put one right there. Put that one there. See how easy this card came together? Now we're going to stamp. Thank you for always being there for me. And this is from a die cut piece from, I meant to say that earlier, the Hibiscus bundle, which is an online exclusive. That's one of the die cuts. Love it. Okay. And then this one's going to be on dimensionals as well. You should see what a mess this is over here. Oh, well, that's okay. You have a messy desk, then you're having fun. Take those little back pieces right off of there. And then you're going to get your pair of scissors and then just trim off any excess. Okay, just like that. Oh, be careful your little bumblebee. It's very delicate. Okay. Brush that to the side. I'll pick that up later. See how easy that came together? Again, just some other cardstock pieces. And for our last project tonight, a fun fold. It's probably been around a long, long time, but it's new to me. It even has a little belly band. And here's all of the dimensions. So the designer paper or the front of part of the kit, I think I measured it at 5 1/8 by 1 7/8, but I like it to be flush, you know, from the top to bottom. So 5 1/2 by 2 is a better measurement for those two pieces. The belly band is 7 1/2 by 1. I'll let you do a screenshot if you'd like. This is like the dimensionals or the measurements for the front. The card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. On the 8 1/2 inch side, you score it 2 1/8, 6 3/8, or score each side at 2 1/8. Or score it 2 1/8 on one side and then fold the other side meeting in the middle, okay? And that's the card base. There's a little bit of an overlap, so you can do 2 1/8 on one side and then bring this one in and just fold it as it meets it in the middle. That's that third or measurement. I always try to do what's, what do you call it? a little bit easier to understand measurements. For me, I like simplified measurements. I don't like to have a lot of convoluted, for lack of a better word, measurements that are just so much. Now this is the belly band, and I went ahead and when I was playing around, I just went ahead and stamped the honeycomb for the belly band, and then this is the front piece that we're gonna adhere to the front here, just like that. And it's flush, so it's the width of the card. And then this is the other die cut piece that's from the hibiscus bundle that I really like. And then here's the little belly band. This is one of those cards, I forget the name of it. It's a fun fold. It's been around for a long, long time. I think we even did one in a card class at one point. Wishing you brighter days ahead. That's a really nice sentiment. I love the circle punches and the circle die cuts like that, because you don't have to worry about it being crooked or lining it up. It's just beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and apply the front here. So it's going to hold down that side and apply our adhesive. There's that side, and we'll go to this one. This was such a fun kit to play with. And you can use all the pieces of stamps later, just like that. Now, I didn't do the measuring for exactly what the score lines would be, but for me, the easiest way to put the belly band on, initially that is just to wrap it around. Wishing you brighter days ahead. Isn't that lovely? A simple, nice card like that. So basically what I mean is wrap it around. And it didn't fit. That's okay. This time it will. What? It's fine. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to apply on each side here a little adhesive. And then this is going to go right on just like that. So it's a little off center, but it's perfectly fine. And that is your belly band. So there's one card, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the original 2, 7, 8, and then 9, our 3D project. That was a lot of fun tonight. Again, this kit, y'all, is absolutely amazing. And these were my ideas for alternatives, showcasing the fact that you can stamp with the stamps even after you've used all of the flowers and product and die cut pieces. Love, love, love this paper pumpkin kit. And if you are interested, I do have a couple of extra kits. Just message me and I'll be happy to get those in the mail to you for a small fee. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next time. Happy stamping.